What's up, everybody? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? This is Alvin Louie from Courage is a Habit, and we've got a fun one for you tonight, I think. So, we're going to be streaming a school board meeting up in Maine, one of the most corrupt and most transgender loving school board up in Maine. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. So I wouldn't say they are the top one, but they are certainly one of the most transgender loving corrupt school board, probably one of the most dishonest school board. We'll be streaming that. We'll see if we got some fun surprises there. And we'll expose a couple of, the usual transgender cultists, show you how easy it is to string them along and, get them to step in all kinds of trap. So I hope everybody's having a good week. We are having a fantastic week. It's been a really fun month. We're having a lot of fun, pushing our Ask a Report out, doing quite a bit of media and everything. So it has been a very busy month. I know people are ramping down for Christmas, the Christmas and the holidays and things. And look, for us, we don't take a break. We don't ramp down. When people ramp down, we ramp up. That's what we do. So I hope everybody's doing great. Thank you for everybody who donated to us and supported us for Giving Tuesday. That was this past Tuesday. And for everybody who support us every day, and it allows us to do what we love to do. It allows us to make tools and strategies, put out reports, travel, and all those different things, and expose the people who are after your children. That's what Courage is a Habit does. And this is, I think we're pretty good at it, but there's a lot to improve on. And so thank you so much for all your support. And this year has been great. You guys have been fantastic. And we want to honor your support and make sure that we finish 2025 strong, and then go into 2026 with even more fire in our belly. All right. Let's see here. Give me a second here, and I want to make sure I'll pull up the right school board here. They're probably not starting until a little after 5. So we'll have a couple of things here to chew on while we wait for this very corrupt school board. I'm going to mute them until they start. Okay. Well, as most of you probably know, let me make sure I got my audio in. Good. As most of you probably know, you see a lot of in January, we did a prediction that 2025 is going to be an empathy campaign like the likes you've never seen. And we've been collecting these emotional blackmails, these cheap tactics to try to weaponize your empathy. And we'll probably do a Courage After Dark to go through everything that we collected. But the thing that everybody's seeing is how we've got Democrats now finally and leftists crying for drug cartels and drug dealers. Yeah, they finally got there. They were crying for illegal aliens. They were crying for, of course, child mutilation advocates, teachers who groom your children, pornography, drag queens, violent illegal aliens, gangbangers, MS-13, gangbangers, some of the most violent people in the world. And they're finally standing up for drug dealers. It's fantastic. They're showing everybody exactly who they are. And for those of us, of course, we're going to go, okay, we get it, right? These are leftist Democrats are like this. But what they're teaching your children, that's the key. That's what they're teaching your children, you see. They're teaching your children to also have empathy for these drug dealers. As long as they're not white and it's against America or it's against what Trump is doing, that's it. It could be anything. They could be the worst murderers in the world. That's the woke white women way. As long as they're brown or black, and they're harmful to America and Americans, that's all they need. That's all they need to support them. All right, let me get a few things ready here. A couple things. Let's see here. Let's save a couple things here. While they're getting ready. I'm usually a little more prepared than this. I didn't save anything for this live stream tonight. I saved nothing. I'm just winging it. Okay. So they are still waiting to start. Let's see if we can get a couple of child mutilation advocates, transgender cultists. Let me see if I can pull up something from our Instagram. Dude, can I get to the... Oh, okay, cool. All right. All right. So on Instagram, we have something called the Hall of Fame. Have you guys ever seen this? For those of you who are not on Instagram, we have this thing on Instagram called the Hall of Fame, REEEE, where they just go nuts. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm paying attention to make sure that when they start, I can do the live stream. So I'm trying to listen here. Okay. I'm going to show you guys. So we collect these people that just goes nuts. And they're all transgender cultists. They're all child mutilation advocates. They got TDS and things, but they just flip the fuck out. It's really great. And so we collect them. Now we probably should be more disciplined to collect more of these because we have a lot more than what we put up in the Hall of Fame. But we collected one. We got one a few weeks ago. Maybe you guys seen it if you're on Instagram. We did reshare it on X. But I want to share it with you guys because it's really, really funny. We love the Hall of Fame. They're just hilarious. All right. The Hall of Fame. Make sure that... Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to stream this here, and we'll go back to the Hall of Fame.
For anyone viewing at home at www.msad11.org. So if you're unable to be here,
so apparently
that way.
Somebody is supposed to resign tonight. It's the rumor.
We'll do the introduction of board
members. A school board member is supposed to resign tonight because apparently a child mutilation advocate accused him of falling asleep or nodding off. Apparently, I haven't seen the video of during the meeting, and this gentleman, he's a black gentleman, said, "Okay, you got me. I'll resign." Right? It's what he posted. So apparently, he's supposed to resign tonight, and the fat child mutilation advocate is very happy about this. So we'll see. He's supposed to be talking about his resignation tonight.
Jackie Bless,
Tony B,
Linda Caputo, Ella Crook, Megan Carlson, Michelle Tucker, and
Josh Farr, Director of Adult Education.
Thank you. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
This is MSAD 11, one of the most corrupt and dishonest school boards in Maine.
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
The woman in green, right in the middle there, the board chair, the one in the glasses in green, she is one of the most dishonest, nastiest, dishonest, dumbest, most racist school board chair you have ever met.
I'll read the public comment.
Anti-white, of course. Brings in racist, black-focused curriculums, things like that.
Convene into the public comment period of our meeting. State law in Maine requires a public comment item on agendas of a full meeting of the school board. Please note that the public comment period is not designed to be a discussion. Accordingly, please do not expect the board to respond to your concerns and questions tonight. I also want to point out that under state and federal privacy laws, we are unable to entertain any comments or questions about school personnel, particular student matters, any rumors presented as facts that compromise the privacy of others, and any health or medical information protected as confidential. On any matter of concern, we would ask you to go through the appropriate administrative channels. We ask that speakers please address comments to the board directly rather than to the audience. Speakers may address items pertinent to tonight's meeting agenda or any topic related to the school unit's programs, policies, or operations. In the unlikely event the meeting becomes unruly, the board will recess the meeting and return once order has been restored.
No, school board meeting's not
Finally,
going to be
I want to
unruly.
remind
What do
everyone
you
that you
mean?
may
That never
submit written
happens.
comments to the board in lieu of speaking during the public comment period.
That
if
never
you so
happens.
choose. Regarding the protocol for this evening, please review the board pamphlet, Welcome to our school board meeting, that provides a
Share this live stream, everybody. Share this live stream for me because, like I said, we've got a couple of fun surprises tonight. We'll expose a couple of transgender cultists. So we'll be doing this for a little bit. So share this live stream for me, please. Thank you.
required to state their name and town or city of residence
So they're
before
going to do
beginning
the
their
public
remarks.
comments.
Consistent with policy BEDH, the board will hear public comments from residents and employees of the school unit first. If there is time remaining in the public comment period, once all residents have had the opportunity to speak, the board will permit comments from non-residents. The board will now entertain public comments for 20 minutes. Each individual speaker is allotted 2 minutes. The individual time limits will be enforced so that as many members of the public who wish to speak may be allowed to do so. I believe we have a timekeeper.
Molly.
Oh, thank you. Right, Molly, sorry.
Excuse me, Linda and Ellen gotta switch nameplates.
Oh, yes, so we have the front rows empty, well, with the exception of
Lancaster.
we have children that are coming tonight to make a presentation to the board. So those seats are, they're special reserved seats for our students. So, and we're excited about that. That'll be coming right up. All right, public comment.
All right, so the list that we have here, Jen Scully.
One of the transgender child mutilation advocates. She's a teacher. She's a teacher in a middle
Good
school.
evening. My name is Jen Scully. I'm a
One of the
resident.
woke white women.
I
Disgusting.
have one child who currently attends MSID 11 schools and a recent graduate. Today, I'm going to read some quotes that a school board member has publicly made on social media or podcast appearances. My board chairman does nothing to curtail these women. In fact, she invites and encourages them. But the moment someone pushes back, she silences them. She limits others from speaking during public comment who don't play by her rules. She courts division on the board so she can reprimand about a lack of cohesion. Alyssa Tracy, seriously, fake news? Like filing a restraining order without merit because you don't want someone to attend the meeting by taking all the court's time away from people, especially women, truly in harm's way when court dockets are tight? While you certainly have the right to freedom of speech and opinion, citing this as fake news when you fraudulently filed a restraining order is a tad hypocritical. Maybe think first. You are hands down one of the most hateful people I've ever met. She is so vile on the board. Joanne O'Brien, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You sought a protection order against a man who never contacted you directly. You haven't been stood up to in a long time. Get used to it. You gave incoherent testimony. You wasted the court's time. You talk about bullying, but you are the biggest bully of all. Becky Fless is a bully. I cited her toxic leadership as the #1 problem in our district. She inspires fear, and
true.
families do not speak out because of the real possibility of retribution.
Everything's
The
true.
reason our board is not getting along is because Becky has zero moral leadership. If she wants people on our board to work together, she will act with ethics, and she is not doing so. She is a snake in the grass.
This is
Megan
true.
Carlson, she is so nasty in the meetings, but the first chance that somebody challenges her worldview, she gets nasty. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sometimes. So after hearing this, as you can imagine, I was pleasantly surprised to see that a board member is up for censure. The board code of ethics clearly states making disparaging remarks in or out of board meetings about other board members or their opinions is against policy. This board member continually does so, and I hope today's censure sends a clear message it needs to stop.
She's a transgender cultist. pushes everything transgender in middle school. Her daughter is one of those toy soldiers that we talk about, completely brainwashed, pronouns everything, trans
Mark
everything,
Turek.
anti-white everything. She's just one of the ones that we pick on.
Good evening. Pardon my voice. First of all, sorry, it's that time of year. My name is Mark Turk. I live in Randolph. It's nice to be here tonight. I want to thank you all for kind of being public servant and trying to help the kids. I'm just a little bit concerned here with what's going on with our education system. As you all know, just as a reminder, Maine Public Schools right now, from what I've read, ranked 41st in the nation. Our most recent MSAD 11 report cards are far from impressive.
Yes, sir.
We really need to get back to teaching the basics. It seems like we've gone off on a very political tangents, and especially with the far left. Both local organizations and out-of-state organizations are clearly involved. And it's for those of us who actually live in the area, and when we have questions, what is the best way for us to get questions answered from the board? I sent questions to Mrs. Fless and all the board manager, or all the board members twice. Mrs. Fless has never responded.
Yep.
Fortunately, 2 of the board members did, and I thank them for that. But you know, you say you can send messages in, but if you're not responding, what do we do? And I've actually even been told that Mrs. Fless, I believe, has told other board members not to respond. How can we get information as local, whether your kids are in the school or if you're a taxpayer? If you're concerned and they're not responding, that's not right. You know, whether you're on the right or the left, it doesn't really matter. You know, the politics have gotten out of control. We need to go back to the basics. And I hope you'll answer my questions because they're pretty simple. Thank you.
They don't answer because they can't, because they know they're pushing all the divisive
Thank
ideology.
you. Jennifer Richardson.
Richardson's another woke white woman, another transgender cultist, another child mutilation advocate, loves everything trans, everything anti-white.
Jennifer Richardson from Gardner. I've read comments that schools should focus on traditional academics and shouldn't address any social emotional skills. It finally dawned on me that people have no idea what schools are like. Schools don't teach social emotional skills because they want to. They teach them because they have to.
Parents can't do it.
I had to learn many new teacher skills in my last 10 years of teaching that I didn't need before. I'm thoroughly trained in how to get out of a hair pull, a choke hold, get out of a bite, and train how to deflect a punch. I read comments about woke curriculum. One piece of woke curriculum I learned and was expected to teach was what to do in an active shooter situation, how to hide, be silent, and how to barricade a door. Lessons added as a result of need, not want. Schools wouldn't address social emotional skills unless they had to.
Because parents can't do it.
It used to be that there were 1 or 2 significantly behaviorally challenged students in a school. Now there are at least 2 in every classroom. Teachers have to address basic skills like how to eat at a table and how to sit in a chair. Kids come to school with limited experience in unstructured play, taking turns, solving conflicts, cooperation, and sharing aren't skills kids arrive at school with like they used to. The bottom line is students are arriving at school with fewer and fewer life skills. Until students arrive at school with those basic skills, the schools will have to address them because the alternative is not workable. Instead of criticizing schools for addressing these skills, I encourage you to reflect on why they have to. I encourage you to have a conversation with the teacher in your neighborhood. And one final comment I'm a little disturbed to hear about, and I got this
5
comment
seconds.
too, that you shouldn't file a lawsuit. When somebody calls you a child mutilator,
Time.
sorry.
She's embarrassed because she lost her ass. She had to withdraw her lawsuit because she accused a guy of calling her a child mutilation
Fred
advocate,
Merrill.
and he didn't. She's very confused. Very confused. Here's this old man who was a a board member like in the
Okay, my name's
1800s.
Fred Merrill, I live at 64 Hinkley Road in West Gardner.
School's very different when
I'd
he was a
talk to
school board
you
member.
about the bullying of the children in this school system.
Always bullying,
I,
emotional
for one,
blackmail.
am not gonna put up with it. And I think there are board members on this board that condone it. And I think you know probably who I'm talking about. Bullying comes from out of state, some clown named Elvin. And
Me?
wants to bully my grandchild
Me?
because he spoke to you. It's pretty much unacceptable. I'd like to know how many of you board members think it's okay to bully children? Because I think there are some here. Because you belong to a group that this guy Elvin participates in.
Me?
So
Me again?
just gonna sit there, I know, because no participation.
Oh,
But you
well,
should be ashamed of yourselves,
maybe we should have participation.
5 of you. Everybody knows who you are, so I don't have to say. But I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna call you people out on the street, on every corner in this school district. Because you're not bullying my children, my grandchildren, or anybody else's. That's it.
Thank you. And that ends the public comment.
Includes public comment. Oh, let's see, review and approval of the agenda minutes, prioritization of items and alteration of the established agenda format sequence as needed.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. we-
Did she sign up afterward, after all, or no?
No, her class, right?
Yes.
Her teacher is
Oh,
here.
yes.
Yes, okay, yes, her teacher is here. She just wanted to be sure, she wanted to be sure she was doing the right thing,
Oh,
and she
didn't want to
is.
leave her out.
Me neither. I want to hear from all of them. Okay, prioritization of items and alteration of the established agenda format sequence as needed. Motion to approve?
Point of order.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the agenda?
I have a point of order, madam.
Yes,
The point of order is called, you should have responded to that.
Yes.
Not allowed the.
yes.
motion.
How corrupt
Jeff,
she is.
I know.
Okay, so if we could back up a little bit and just respond to the point of order that was asked earlier.
Look how corrupt she
What is
is.
your point of order?
Look at what a bitch she is.
So a motion to consider the censure of a board member.
Mhm.
Point of order is agenda item 3A,
Mhm.
as written, violates policy BEDB, agenda preparation and dissemination. Additions and adjustments to a meeting agenda can only be proposed after the meeting has been called to order. Under agenda preparation dissemination, policy BEDB states the superintendent in consultation with the chair shall prepare an agenda for each meeting of the board. The agenda shall include items of the board plans to address in performing its duties as the governing body of the school unit in accordance with Maine law and board policies. Under request for agenda items, it states board members, district staff, groups or organizations, and members of the public may submit written requests to the board through the chair or the superintendent for items to be placed in the agenda. The chair and the superintendent shall make the final decision regarding placement of items on the agenda. The item for the censure from me censuring Becky Fless was requested more than 14 days ago and is within the scope of the board's duties, timely and appropriate for consideration under all applicable laws and board policies. Additionally, Chair Fless stated in an email dated November 6th, policy BEDB indicates that the request must be received a minimum of 14 days prior to the meeting at which the individual wishes the item to be addressed. Your proposed motion will be placed on the agenda for the next regular board meeting in December. It's not on the board, it's not on the agenda when you assured that it would be on the agenda. Therefore, the motion to censure should be considered part of the agenda, not in addition requiring a motion, second, or vote. It should be under new business.
So when you sent that email, and I instructed you about the 14 days.
Yay.
I reached out to the district's attorney and said, how do I do this? So the actual word for word verbatim email that I sent to you came from the district's attorney. When it comes to setting the agenda, the board leadership sets the agenda. We again consulted our attorney, and our attorney said it doesn't need to be, it shouldn't be under new business. It requires a motion and a second. And not only do you get to censure me, which is fine, I get to respond.
Okay.
So it stays where it is at the advice of our attorney.
And that is not what you said. In the email you sent to me, you specifically said it would be added to the
She doesn't
agenda,
want to get called
not
out.
as a prioritization.
And it feels as though you are nitpicking about this. It took us, may I say how long it took us? Took us 4.5 hours to set the agenda because we wanted to get this right.
And you didn't, because you're
well, then you-
violating,
would
you're
you-
violating policy BEDB. You are violating your own policy, which you've done many times, ma'am.
Can I say something? I'm just asking,
I'm sorry, you're out of order for speaking.
I just, is that?
She just asked if
I
she
just
could.
asked if I could speak.
I didn't see an agreement. You didn't.
Not all of us say point of order first.
Not everyone says point of order, that's correct.
Yeah, I don't yell before I speak. I looked at Becky and said, may I speak? Sorry if you didn't catch that.
We're gonna bitch these
I just
white
want to
women are.
clarify. To me, can you read the part about where Becky says it will be on the agenda?
Yeah, sure. Actually, hold on one moment. I'll bring up her email in entirety.
Because
Just give me one
in
moment.
my,
I'll
My
happily
own-
read that out loud. Hold on one moment. So,
She's afraid of what Michelle, who's reading the email, what she has on her. She doesn't want it out in the
I
public
just
comment.
feel like it is on the
Fucking coward.
agenda. The
no,
topic that you brought
it's
forth
an end
in
run
order
around.
to, what
She
you're
doesn't
doing is
want-
like
What Michelle has on her on record. That's what
a
this is about.
huge
That's okay.
waste of our time.
If she
No,
censors her,
she
if
Put
you
it
let her
on the
do it, we'll put
agenda,
it out.
we're gonna do the thing.
So let me read. You asked me to read. So I will say, this is the email that I sent to Becky. I said, I move that consideration of the following resolution be added to the agenda under new business. Resolved that Chair Becky Fless is hereby censured by this board for her comments speaking as chair of the MSAD 11 school board at a dinner hosted by the Maine School Management Association for board chairs and aspiring board chairs. Contrary to paragraph C of our board member code of ethics, Chair Fless publicly denigrated the motives of 4 members of this board as being different from the majority, with specific implication that these members are on the board for reasons which are not for the kids. Not only did Chair Fless deliberately impugn the motives of several members, she did so as an invited speaker in a forum where her comments were being offered to the community of Maine school board members and leaders as expert opinion from an experienced leader. Chair Fless even made clear to her audience that her fellow board members from MSAD 11 attending the conference was one of the 4 suspect members with an explicit accusation that this member's primary goal for being on the school board is to disrupt the board. These comments are especially troubling given Chair Fless's official duty to be the public spokesperson of the MSAD 11 board at all times. Now, it is correct that Becky responded and said, it is a violation of Maine's freedom of access law for us to make motions and conduct board business by email. Motions should not be made outside the properly called board meeting, so I cannot treat this as a legitimate motion. Nonetheless, board members are permitted to make a request to the chair or superintendent that items be placed on the agenda. Policy BEDB indicates that the request must be received a minimum of 14 days prior to
She
the
violated
meeting
home policy.
at which the individual wishes the
Well played,
item to be
Joe.
addressed. I will treat this as such a request and approve the request. Your proposed motion will be placed
Ooh.
on the agenda for the next regular board meeting in December.
Oh, she got
So
her
in
good.
fact, you did say that it would be on the board meeting and you did cite policy BEDB and agenda preparation and dissemination. And you are again
Under new business.
violating the policies
I'd
our
like to
board
say
has.
something. I'd like to say
Yes.
something. I think that probably what Megan was trying to get at is where I'm gonna go, is that the motion that you're making is a dilatory motion. And it's made with the purpose of obstructing or delaying or frustrating the will of the assembly, which is Robert's Rules of Order. I believe that it is in section 39. And I think that that's what you've been doing for a long time. And I think you've been misusing point of order as a way of interrupting what's going on. And I think that due to that, I think that it should be stricken from the agenda. Because I think your motion is retaliatory and it's weaponizing our code of ethics against one another. And I don't think that should be tolerated in this room. We have a lot of work to do. And
She doesn't
people
want,
are
she's covering for.
have voiced the
Becky,
fact that they don't want to
the
see
most
anyone
corrupt
arguing or
witches
fighting
ever
anymore.
sitting in a school board.
And I think what you just started was an argument. And I'm gonna motion to have it stricken from the agenda.
Second.
May I respond to you?
I don't know that you would let anyone else respond.
I'm not sure actually that, I mean, we might want to check that you're
The point of order.
able to respond
You made a-
because I'm speaking, hold
No,
on.
I made a point of order and you have to start speaking.
Yeah, you don't get to stop. She doesn't have to stop
Yes, she
speaking.
does.
She doesn't have
Well,
to
I made
stop
a point of
speaking.
order.
Yeah,
And
she'll be
I
recognized
get to
afterwards.
recognize you, Jeff. Come on.
Recognized afterwards.
Listen, I know how this works.
I do
Doing the
too.
same thing.
So
You all
a
do the
motion has
same
been
thing.
made and seconded.
Yeah.
Now you have to bring it up for a vote and a discussion.
Point of order, there's a first motion and second that still have yet to be called.
That's correct.
I think that got pulled back because
Did it? Okay,
the point of
thank you.
order came in first, so we're
Thank
in a
you.
motion in the point of order.
Thank you, Tony. I'm trying to keep up.
So discussion on the motion.
Discussion on the motion.
May I speak?
Yes, you may speak.
I feel like, thank you, Kate, for expressing all the things that I definitely want to say. I feel like. Never mind. No, sorry. I want to be very careful and very articulate and
This
very
is why your
respectful,
schools are so fucked up. These corrupt
I
people
just
cover
feel
for each
like
other.
we're taking up all this time. And from what you just read out loud, I don't feel like I don't feel like that actually falls under like what you're saying. Sorry, I'm very shaky at the moment.
My last comment was cut off. It is what I read. Let me back this up a little bit. My motion is not dilatory. It is not trying to get people to fight. It is trying to get our leadership to actually be a real leader. Under policy BCA-D, it says, I will remember at all times that as an individual, I have no legal authority outside the meetings of the board, but I will conduct my relationship with the school staff, local citizenry, and media communications on this fact. Also, under section P of our ethics, I will resist every temptation and outside pressure to use my position as a school board member to benefit myself or any individual agency apart from the total interest of MSAD 11. Becky, you used your authority to disparage a third
Michelle,
of your
honestly,
faith.
what are you doing?
You see how they're
I
covering
have
for
these
her?
printed out right here. We
They
can
cover
pass
for
them
her.
around.
'cause
These are yours.
Becky is such
This is
a
what you've been
corrupt-
doing the last couple, how long?
Actually, I
have you
haven't
been
said
here?
stuff in quite some time. I actually stopped.
Oh,
Thank you.
Point of order.
I just whacked the mallet.
We're
Wait a
discussing,
minute.
we're
We're
discussing the
discussing the
motion.
motion, okay?
To strike this, right?
To strike.
Yes.
She
I
doesn't
think
want what she's
Have a
got.
motion and a second.
I would like to speak on.
Oh,
that
this is
topic.
great.
Thank you.
Oh, this is great.
One, you
They're so
make a
fucking
lot of
nervous.
allegations. And I have heard no verifiable proof that any of it is true in the first place.
Thank
Check
you,
your email. I
Joanne.
sent the audio.
Excuse
videos.
me.
Thank you, Joanne
Excuse
O'Brien.
me.
Becky was caught on camera, not on camera, on audio at the School Board Association meeting, and I have provided all of you with the audio.
You need to let Joanne speak.
Secondarily,
No evidence, huh?
in
Thank you, Joanne
print,
O'Brien.
you have disparaged a number of us as
And we're not calling for a censure of you right now. Maybe we should.
It's a waste of our time.
But the big point is it's a waste of our time. We've got so much stuff to do. And you want to do all of this point of order, point of order, point of order. And you are the biggest purveyor of discord here.
That is untrue.
You call people groomers? You call me dark and vile?
Point of order, this is not about me, you, or anybody else.
It
This is
is
about
about
Becky
you.
Fless.
It
No,
is about
it is
you.
about Becky Fless.
Look at
The
how
motion is
about
about
corrupt
Becky
you
Fless.
are.
Nope.
You guys see why your schools are like this?
I mean it.
Thank you.
Apparently, Michelle, you believe that the policies apply only to me, but not you. And you clearly have broken them over and over, and that's okay. The reason I have never asked to censure you is because I don't need to humiliate you. I don't need to do the door needs to remain open. It is unkind. It is humiliating. And if you ever
We're happy
wanted
to
to speak
humiliate
with me
you.
personally, I would happily do that.
You're a rotten bitch.
I have tried to
Happy
talk with you,
humiliate
Jeff.
over and
You
over
don't
again.
return calls. I've spoken to you, Barry, one time in public. Didn't ever know that we had any, it's my beliefs that you don't like, and that's fine. So we can
We're all in
vote.
that, but we all don't. There's 5 of us that don't like the other 5 beliefs, but we're all on
I
different sides of the
don't
aisle.
care. I
Okay, but I'm
don't,
saying we all do that. It's not gonna be a thing where.
I'm not writing anything about
we all do
anyone.
that.
I'm here for one reason.
You should.
I really am.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor of striking it from the agenda?
They're covering for each other. Look at the bitch. Look at how fucked up they are.
All those opposed to striking it from the agenda? All those abstaining?
You're watching corruption, folks. You're watching corruption covering for a board chair who was unethical. They don't want this stuff out in public.
Sorry.
If you want to know why your schools are this way, you're just watching
This
it.
is a weighted one. I'm gonna, just to be sure, enter it.
That's okay. We'll get it out. We'll get it out. You can't hide from this. Chair Becky Fless, you're one of the rottenest bitches that's ever held office in the school board. We'll make sure we get it out. Don't you worry. This is corruption, folks. This is what you just saw over the last 15 minutes is how most of your schools are ran by these disgusting transgender cultists, woke white women covering for each other,
The yes.
covering for the
votes,
corruption.
7,000.
And Michelle had audio evidence. Look how hard they work, breaking their own policies so that the audio doesn't get played in an official school board meeting. But we don't live in those times. That can be out. Doesn't need to be a school board
And
meeting.
trying to lead, not everyone agrees, and that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you, but it doesn't mean I don't like you, and it doesn't mean I disparage you or that I write things about you. I will say, and I am going to read my statement, Michelle, I never used anybody's name. The only other board member that was in that workshop was Tony. I could have meant him. He was the only one. Were you at that workshop? Thank you. So on November 6th, Board Member Tucker sent an email to the entire board, all of our administrative staff and the staff of each of our towns requesting that a motion to censure me be added to the agenda for the meeting that was to take place in just a few hours. Upon receiving the email, the district's attorney assisted me with a reply because I understand the importance of accuracy in situations such as these. On October 22nd, Tony and I attended the chair, vice chair, aspiring chair workshop at the MSMA Fall Conference. A survey was sent to the registered participants before the workshop, inquiring as to the topics that would be most helpful for discussion. I have it here. This is the slide deck. Anybody here may look at it, but you can't have it because it is proprietary. Didn't have it. before it, I got it from Eric Waddell, who is the executive director of Maine School Boards Association, Maine School Management Association. A survey was sent. The workshop was 2.5 hours in length. It was not a dinner. It was a workshop with light snacks, cookies, cold beverages, and coffee. The topics of the conversation of the workshop included what happens when your board goes sideways, as well as other relevant topics. I was not an invited guest. I was a paying participant, as was Tony. I was not on the panel. I was not on the stage. I sat near the front with other board members that I know. I did not have an audience any more than any other participant in this workshop. There were probably 135 people there. I had none of that. I raised my hand when I participated and waited to be called on, as did every other participant in the session. The complaint says that not only did Chair Fless deliberately impugn the motives of several board members, she also, as an invited speaker in a forum where her comments were being offered to the community of school board members across Maine and leaders as an expert opinion from an experienced leader. That is
She doesn't
untrue.
remember. That is very
I was
true.
on a level playing field with other board chairs, board vice chairs,
But she's
and people
on
with
the board.
aspirations to become chairs.
But
Tony
she's
and
on
I
the
have
board.
gone to that workshop every year for years
She's a
because we want to
treasurer.
be better. We want to know how to do it.
She's leaving
And we're
that
not
out.
perfect. You can wait, Jeff.
She
I'm
is
not
the
done.
treasurer.
And I also know you don't like to listen to my 15 minutes of lecture. I get that. You need to wait.
And everybody gets the same turn you get.
That's up to Tony. This is untrue, as stated in the previous bullets. Chair Fless made it clear to her audience that her fellow board member from MSAD 11 attending the conference was one of the 4 suspect members, with an explicit accusation that this member's primary goal for being on the school board is to disrupt the board. Is our board a little bit sideways right now? Is the community and are our students noticing it? Yes, they are. I did raise my hand and speak to the difficulties we are having. I mentioned nobody's name.
Caused by
and I
her.
would not do that. Our board is sideways. And everyone there knew it. I didn't even have to bring it up. As soon as you say MSAD 11, the room knows.
Because you're corrupt. You're a
The
corrupt.
point of the
fucking
workshop,
bitch. That's why.
as it was intended, is
And
to
a
be a
liar.
safe, honest, interactive, and helpful school board workshop for people that are really boards that are experiencing real disruption. If we're just supposed to stay silent about it, you need to tell me that. The one thing that I do agree with in this entire complaint is that spending time impugning other people's character is against policy. I'm committed to following the policies of MSAD 11. The district ones, as well as, and especially the ones that are in statute. It's my goal to follow the law at all times, here as well as in our community. Our laws and policies are in place to protect us and to ensure that we have guidance and a framework for our work, which is to do the best of our abilities, what is in the best interest of students while working with and including their parents in everyday events of their child's
Unless
experience.
the parents don't agree with transgender policies.
The board member making these accusations was not at the workshop. Information being shared is inaccurate and third hand. And if the board wishes to make decisions based on rumor and third hand information, then you know how to vote.
When you
I
have audio.
myself prefer facts.
Good.
Thank you for listening to my
Do the audio.
rendition of the workshop that I attended.
You see how
Jeff, you'd like
dishonest they
to
are?
speak now.
Thank you. My complaint isn't about anything you said, really, it's that we took a vote a moment ago
Mhm.
to end discussion
Mhm.
on the very subject you just spoke of for 8 or 10 minutes on.
Mhm.
You shouldn't have done that.
I'm sorry if it-
We should have gone on.
I'm
with the agenda.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
But I have been impugned.
But again,
for a
that,
year.
again, if you allow the motion, the motion was allowed to be discussed, that would all, every side would get out.
So maybe I
But we
should have read
voted
it during
And
discussion.
Point of order. I believe that what's happening, wait,
no,
I can talk. I believe that what's happening right now is that she's answered your question and you don't like it, but
I'm
she's
sure-
answered
excuse
it.
me, point of
and then
order.
it should be done.
She's interrupting without making a point.
She did make a
I
point.
just
don't
made
have
a
that.
point.
You don't have the right to do that. All my point is that we had a vote to end discussion, but you then continued the discussion.
So what would you like to happen now?
Well, I'm just reminding you, that's not how we're supposed to operate.
I
I
don't
don't
think much
accuse
of
anyone.
this.
I know everyone here wants to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. You just had a vote to end discussion, stop the discussion. Let's continue with the agenda.
Perfect. Thank you.
Motion to review and approve agenda and minutes.
Second,
All those in favor?
One person, please.
Yes.
Come on, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Yeah.
Minutes,
Uh,
Please.
Sure.
Oh, he's supposed to resign tonight.
And I'm sorry, Barry, I don't have any idea where personal privilege goes, so please.
This is Barry.
Appreciate it.
Barry's a good man. Let's see what Barry has to say. Let's hear it,
Due to
Barry.
Changes in my circumstances over the last few months, I've wrestled with the idea of resigning my position here on the school board. I've been lukewarm and I've served with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I held down due to a feeling of betrayal to my colleagues and to the district members who have supported and encouraged me to continue my efforts and keep up the good fight.
Hmm.
However, we're faced recently with the embarrassing reality that I'd fallen asleep during our meetings. I had to come to terms with what has to be done. The district deserves representatives who are fully involved and committed, like my friend Michelle, who sits across from me, who does the homework and is fully involved despite a tough schedule and in spite of health issues and relentless attacks of activist extremists. Ironically, largely from the same individual who has brought me to terms with my reality. It gives me pause to ponder if this is actually about having involved in active representatives or having reps that ideologue a similar guild. Regardless of the motive, the fact of the matter was still relevant, and that I was not the rep that the district deserved.
Hmm.
Every seat on this board should be occupied by reps like Michelle and also like Alyssa Tracy, who I didn't see eye to eye with on many issues, but was nonetheless and arguably a great rep. It is for this reason, effective immediately, I ask both the district and the board to accept my recognition that sleeping during a meeting is not a good look and is in direct violation of my waiver of human fallibility. I'd like to issue an apology to any and all of the perfect people whom I so deeply offended, along with my vow to, when possible, nap prior to board meetings going forward. Thank you to Ms. Sides for the much needed wake-up call, pun intended, and also to Emily Duggan for her riveting, unbiased journalism and her passion for bringing us only the most important local news. Thank you. Thank you, Barry. Thank you.
Look at the look on their faces.
Good to see you again.
Look at the look on Becky's face.
May I say one thing? May I say one thing? I appreciate the spirit of what you read. However, I have the 2.5 hours of that meeting on audio, and I'm happy to share it with the district because what you said was not accurate, but we should go on. Thank you.
Wait, point of order.
I'm all set. I'm done talking.
You were not supposed to talk about it anymore. We've been cool lovers.
Barry. that was-
Approval of the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda.
so moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in
I think
favor?
we had that.
We
We had
moved that.
Molly. Can we call the motion that I made, second by Tony?
Yeah.
For approval of the
Okay.
agenda.
Absolutely. All those in favor?
Oh my God.
Approval of minutes of previous meetings, regular school board meeting, November
Yes.
6, 2025.
Becky Flessis
So-
became the treasurer.
It's okay.
That's right. So she wasn't just some guest. She wasn't just some person sitting out there. She left that out
All in favor?
conveniently.
Recognition and celebrations.
Barry, that was hilarious. You walked a transgender child mutilation advocate. You got her all excited that you were going to resign, and you like to offer your recognition that you shouldn't fall asleep You know, it's unfortunate. These meetings are very late. They're very boring. You shouldn't fall asleep. This is true. But you're a child mutilation advocate who loves to trans kids and lies and, disparage parents. Yeah, I didn't think that she was going to get you to resign. That was funny. You even got one of these lefty reporters to write a whole article about you. Well played, sir. Well played. These child mutilation advocates the fat aerial sides. They're so easy, aren't they? They're so easy to bait and walk in. It's truly hilarious. Well played, Barry. Well played, sir.
And early act students who helped serve the dinner. The goal at Riverview was to collect 500 food items, and they collected 1,200.
They're moving to another.
items.
All right. Okay, you guys want to see? You guys want to see what they were so desperate to try to hide, try to cover for bitch Becky Fless? You know why the bitch Becky Fless? Why they cover so hard for her? It's because they have Michelle had this audio from the dinner. And now Becky Fless is the treasurer of the National School Board Association. So you see how dishonest she was? She's like, oh, I'm just a guest in the front row. No, she's the treasurer and the secretary of the National School Board Association. And where she was the main School Board National Association. So she was not just a guest. She's on the board of this the National School Board. So the National School Board Association that governs all 50 states. This rotten bitch is the treasurer and the secretary of the National School Board Association that governs all your school boards. Yes, in Georgia, in Tennessee, in Indiana, in Colorado, in California, in Florida, in Texas. That National School Board Association. Yes. You guys want to see what they were working so hard to try to cover? Yeah, you guys want to see that? I'll show it to you guys. See, we live in a very funny time now because people like Becky Fless can't hide anymore. We won't let them. So this is what they were trying so hard to cover for. Here we go. This is audio from the dinner that she was at. And there was a panel. There was like 130 something school board members. And this is what a rotten bitch she is. Think about it. She's the treasurer and the secretary of the National School Board Association. She was at the main School Board Association dinner panel. And she got caught. And all the woke white women were trying very hard to make sure that this did not see the light of day at the meeting. Here's the reason why. Listen to this fucking bitch.
I agree with like 99% of what you said. We have had to recess in MSAD 11. You've probably heard of. We've had to recess a lot. Typically what happens when we stream all of our meetings. So typically what happens when we recess, the recording stops. And so then the mayhem stops. So one of the things we've learned is they come for mayhem. And I don't love mayhem, but go ahead, do your mayhem. Another thing I've learned is we have law enforcement come to all of our meetings, and it depends on which law enforcement agency you have come. Our local police, God love them, they're our local police, but they don't know what the First Amendment rights are. So when it's, can you please escort this person out? No, I'm not comfortable with that. Well, you're here for that.
So I'm conflicted with the message of do foster collaboration and valuing input from all stakeholders, but I feel like that's conflicted when you have police come to every meeting, and I already heard that once today. So how do you manage that? Because that has the chilling effect, so to speak, right, on public comment?
It does put things on ice. Becky, do you want to speak to that? The conflict between fostering, it's what is that one again? The one that you
Foster collaboration number 2.
foster collaboration, but oh, by the way, we're gonna have an armed police officer.
You're right, it does give a chilling, it has a chilling effect, but we have 4 board members who are there for different reasons than the rest of us. We are a 12-member board. And and it's difficult. They don't, one in particular does not accept a vote at all ever, and leaves the room, goes on Facebook and recreates the meeting. And I'm always the target. And then I get screenshots from the community, and then I just send them to our attorney. I mean, it's crazy. And I'm not that kind of person, and I'm not afraid of this person. It's just, I am afraid of what it's doing to the board. Do I love that we have law enforcement there? Only because I like them. They're nice men, and they're members of our community. But I don't like it that we have one board member in particular who is very connected to outside organizations, and they're trained to come in and do what this person is doing. And I tend to be numb to those kinds of things. Nobody would do that, but they do that. And so Nikki said to me, "I've seen you on TV, Becky, it's not good." Because I get shocked by it, and it frightens me a little bit. So yes, it's a chilling effect, but there are community members. Law enforcement belong in our community. I continue to try and work with this particular board member to no avail. Frankly, I was not happy coming to this conference this time because this person will be here for 2 days, and I'm going to have to spend 2 days with this person. And when that person decides that they want to be there for the kids, that'll be a great day.
Now you guys know why. You guys understand why that they wanted to cover for this dishonest, rotten bitch. So that's the audio that will be shared around. Obviously, she can't hide from it. And that's what they wanted to keep from the public comment. That's why she says it's rumors. It's just rumors. You have no evidence. But Michelle was like, but I have an audio. No, you can't put that on the agenda. So this is a good, now I would love to say, you know what? It would make me very happy to say this is just 1 or 2 school boards. You know, Becky Fless, people like her is just like, I don't know, they're like bad apples. Unfortunately, that's not true. In your K through 12 systems today, Becky Fless is actually not a bad apple. She's a representative of the whole orchard, and the whole orchard's rotten. Most people are like Becky, unfortunately, on the school boards. Your school counselors, teachers, they're like her. She's dishonest. She's rotten. She's corrupt. Pushing transgenderism, anything anti-white, everything pro-black, everything black, everything, brown, everything, illegal, everything. As long as it's anti-white, anti-American, she's good. So the division is caused by people like her, not by people like Michelle or regular parents like you, who just want to send their kids to school without any, any fanfare, any drama. So, fortunately, we had a school board member capture this audio. Now Becky's fucked because it's going to get out there, and she can't hide from it. And all these woke white women that try to cover for her, like Joanne O'Brien says, you have no evidence. Let's hear from her again. We'll play it back again. No evidence, but of course, we always have evidence, always. And so this is what you're dealing with. Hilarious. I don't think there's anything else. I think there might be. Let me just check in here real quick. Oh, okay. All right, cool. So, yeah, this is what it is. So, I thought Barry was hilarious. that was pretty funny. To say, to get them to get this fat transgender child mutilation advocate to believe that he was going to resign because she was like, "Hey, I think you fell asleep." So that's actually pretty funny. Actually pretty funny. So here, let me show you who was trying to get him to resign on his. You guys gotta look at who this is here. These people are pretty freaking funny. Let's see here. Let's see here. Copy. Let's see if we can get the image down here. Here we go. All right. So this is a rotten transgender child mutilation advocate. We'll fire it up here. She, of course, woke white mother, trans kids, the whole 9 yards, So we'll pull this up here. Let me see. Where would I keep? Let's see. Is it woke white women? What do I keep these people? Woke white women, transgender child mutilation advocate. What's it gonna be? Okay. Let's see here. Here we go. Yes. That's what it is. I had to think about it for a second. Like, where do I keep these insufferable woke white women? All their evidence. All right. This is the transgender child mutilation advocate, Ariel Sides, that was trying to get Barry to resign. So we had asked, we call her Fat Sides. This is very heavily filtered and edited, of course. Fat Sides. We asked her, why do you support transgender mutilation surgeries for minors? Don't deflect like a coward. You're supposed to be an ally. And so we showed her this horrific photo of a young girl who was mutilated as a minor, who had her breast cut off because of the very policies that Fat Sides support. And hold on to your seats. This was her reasoning. Her reasoning is why she supports the transgender mutilation surgeries is, notice how that person is smiling. You should try it sometime. That is the reason that CMA Fat Sides says why it's okay to allow a minor to be mutilated. Here you go. Of course, this is a very wannabe Antifa thing, right? Of course, that's pretty standard stuff, right? Nothing special there. Fat Sides, of course, is transing her own children, right? That's natural. As a parent of an LGBTQ teen, they rise organically. Of course, this is why they support. This is why CMAs like Fat Sides support a medical center in your schools, because they want to trans more kids. Offer transgender therapy, offer transgender counseling with affirm-only counselors, binding, tucking, transgender drugs, cross-sex hormones, and the such. So of course she's going to trans her own kids. Fat, ugly, miserable. The usual, right? The usual woke white woman. Nothing special there. What else? Oh yes. It's not happening. It's not happening person, of course. If these people have any proof that this indoctrination is happening in school, she will offer the loudest, most public apology this state, Maine, has ever seen. I'm waiting. Well, unfortunately, of course, we have evidence. This is Gender Queer, a disgusting queer book, a very disgusting queer smut book that is in Maine. It's probably in more than these districts, but of course, we were able to verify that they were in these districts. And so, of course, Fat Sides will owe an apology that she's not, of course, not gonna do. That's they're screaming woke white women. That's what Fat Sides is. I know she was trying to get Barry to resign, and that did not work out for her at all. They're so easy. They really are very easy, and it's hilarious. I regret to inform you, I would inform you that I regret that I fell asleep. She was so excited. I tell you, man, the CMAs give us endless hilarity. Jen and I, we'd be very, very miserable people if it wasn't for the CMAs like Fat Sides. Hilarious. Okay. So if you have any issue, or if you have, I will issue the loudest apology. If there's any proof, they don't have any proof. It's not happening. Show me proof. Right? It's not happening. Show me proof. Okay. Out Maine is in schools. Out Maine is a one of the many transgender NGOs, private companies that you see everywhere in all 50 states. They're transgender organizations that does professional training for school counselors and teachers. You can see that they have kids fill out these lunatic pronouns. Look at this. Probably some pronouns that you probably haven't seen before, right? Pers. Ver, vis, zim, zer. Yeah. This right here. This is what Fat Sides support. She supports all this, but it's not happening. Show me proof. You can see here, they have something called in 2023, Maine gave out Maine. Okay, the state of Maine gave out Maine $400,000 in taxpayer funding to celebrate Pansexual Awareness Day for children ages 9 to 13 to enroll in their Fruit Loops program, which is and Out Maine provides training and materials to Maine K through 12 districts, school counselors, and teachers. Really, staff, any staff, really, not just school counselors and teachers, but mainly school counselors and teachers. You can see during the school day, they've got mental health. Of course, mental health. What do we always say? Mental health is just a euphemism for transgender ideology. Showing a short film about transgenderism. Got art workshop, Pansexual Awareness Day, online games, of course, full of transgender ideology. They're baiting kids, again, between 9 and 13 on a Wednesdays, 3:30 to 4:30 after school. Here you go. Here is their screenshot. They want the birthday of the children, connect with LGBTQ peers, which is basically groomers and pedophiles. Yeah, that's what it is. So remember now, Fat Side says, if you have any proof that this is in schools, I'm gonna issue the loudest, most public apology. I'm waiting. Well, we are waiting. We are waiting for Fat Sides to waddle her fat ass over to make an apology, which I don't think we're gonna get because they're liars about everything. And I think it's hilarious that Fat Sides thought that she was going to get a a resignation from Barry, and she got played and walked into again. And this is what we do. This is what we love to see. This is what we love to see. CMAs get embarrassed. It's wonderful. It's amazing. Oh yeah. So before we were streaming that fun school board meeting, we were going to the Re Hall of Fame. The Re Hall of Fame at our Courage is a Habit. Okay, so if you're in on Instagram, okay, and you go to our profile, okay, which is our profile is at Courage Habit, okay, at Courage Habit. go to the Re Hall of Fame. Re HOF. Okay. Re Hall of Fame. And in it, you will see a collection of the it's hard to describe, but basically it's a collection of people that we've made crazy. Okay? That we've made crazy. So yeah. These are just the people that just lost their ever-loving minds on us over the years. Okay. Yeah, it's really nuts. You just have to read it. It's at Courage Habit on Instagram, and it's called the Re Hall of Fame. Okay. But I wanted to show you the one that we collected recently. See, we got a lot of them. We got a lot of these people. They're like fucking nuts. It's pretty funny. Oh man, over the years, man, we've made people fucking crazy, man. I forgot most of these people. I forgot almost all these people. Some of it Jen did. Some of them they just went nuts on her. But let's see here. I'm gonna try to find look at all these people. I'm gonna try to find the one that we did. Ah, here we go. Here it is. Okay. All right. Okay. So this guy, I mean, if you look at him, okay, if you just take a look at him, what does he look like? He looks like some transgender cultist socialist, right? These losers that are just, I mean, just straight up losers in life. So it started off very nice. Okay, it started off very, very nice. This transgender cultist called Pagan Mammoth. Okay, Pagan Mammoth. He tried to lie about what Megyn Kelly said, because she was talking about something about the Epstein files. And again, he's just one of these like mouthy socialists, right? That's never gotten punched in the mouth, never gotten embarrassed. And he had the misfortune of crossing our path on this particular day. Let me show you how it started. Okay. So it was Megyn Kelly's birthday. This is so funny because our life is so funny. It was Megyn Kelly's birthday, and we wished her a happy birthday. We said, "Happy birthday, Megyn. Have an awesome week celebrating." That's it. That's what we said, right? Megan's been very nice to us, and it was her birthday. And so that's what we said. This is on Instagram, okay? Pagan Mammoth, this transgender weird cultist socialist, says Megyn Kelly literally said I think he meant it's okay to sleep with 15-year-olds on her goddamn show. Once again, you prove that MAGA is pro-pedo. Obviously, Megyn Kelly did not literally say it's okay to sleep with 15-year-olds. Okay. So I'm gonna be very clear here. We made one offer to him. One offer. And completely broke this numbskull. Okay. Here's the offer. Remember now, all we did was wish Megyn Kelly a happy birthday. We says you who supports the sterilization and mutilation of minors, you don't believe she said that because she didn't. But let's test that. How about you and I get on a public live stream one-on-one, audio and video, and play Megan's entire segment? Let's see how fast we prove you're a liar. How about today at 2 p.m. Eastern or 9 p.m. Eastern? Which time works better for you? Liar? That's it. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the offer. Let's see how this mouthy socialist responded off of that offer. It's blatant obvious that you're a computer hard drive would put Gary Glitter to shame. Live stream debate. You're just a wannabe Chinese Charlie Kirk. Hopefully you end up the same way. And then it begins. Chink chat. Erica Kirk ordered the hit. Red dot on a map of registered sex offenders. Totally acceptable for a grown man to date something. I think probably 15-year-old is what you want to say. Blatantly obvious, your computer hard drive again. Pedo, register sex offender. Grooming age children. Spineless you are. Live debate, you're just a wannabe Chinese Charlie Kirk. Same thing, repeated the same thing. Chink version of Charlie Kirk. And on and on and on and on. Just lost his ever fucking loving mind. All because we said, you're a liar. You don't believe she said that. Why don't we just get on a live stream? We'll play her whole segment and see how fast we make you a liar. That's all it took. Look at this guy. Come to 315 Market Street in Boston. Debate me in person. Pedo, never going to be white. Blah, blah, blah. And that's how easy it was to break this worthless woke do nothing, because they can never do it live. They consume legacy media. They're useful idiots. And so, of course, we let him go for about so all that you saw was about 24 hours, maybe a little less, but about 24 hours. We was going to let him go, right? When they get to this that they do, we let him go, right? We just let him go, collect it. And we strung him up. We did it, we strung him up, did a story, just collected everything like what you saw. And this mouthy coward changed his entire username, made his profile private, changed it to 617 CMA 970. Made his account private, and then maybe about an hour later, quite literally shut down his whole account. That's how they are. They're all mouthy cowards, whether you're fat sides, whether you're just a fat, ugly, like fat sides, CMA, or whether you're this socialist, do nothing loser. They're all like this. So when they call you bigot, transphobe, you're hateful, white supremacist, you just pretend they didn't say that. Just act like they didn't say it, because it means nothing. It means nothing. Go after them. Always expose them. Humiliate them. Use their own words against them. They're fragile. They're easy. They're easy all day long. Anytime I need new content, I can go to any CMA and just boop, 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 boop. Easy. All day, every day. I can do it live. It doesn't matter, because they're so predictable. Because what do they have? They've got emotional blackmail. They got language contamination. That's it. For those of you who were here in the earlier part of the stream, you remember that old guy? You remember that old man, that weird guy with the long beard that was like, you're bullying my child, my grandchild. Okay. You're bullying my grandchild. So what the schools do now is that they get the most brainwash of children and put them on the school board. Okay. They put them on the school board, and they trot them up, and they just repeat all the woke stuff, all that woke ideology. Okay. And anytime someone disagrees with this child or this teenager, because usually they're like in high school, right? They're usually like 16, 17 in high school, because they put them on the board. Anytime an adult goes, that's not right, they're just repeating all the woke ideology. They want transgender policies. They want critical race theories, anti-white. They want illegal aliens. They want a medical center in school, right? That can do all the transgender stuff, give abortion pills, COVID vax. They will say you're picking on a child. That's exactly what that old man did. That's exactly what that dishonest old man did. You're picking on my grandchild. No one's picking on your grandchild. You strung them up. You put them in front. It's like ISIS strapping a bomb on 15-year-olds and go, oh my God, you shot a 15-year-old. No, you put the bomb vest on a 15-year-old and trotted them out, because you're cowards. That's why you use children as a shield. That's what they all do. Like that transgender child mutilation advocate, that cultist Jennifer Scully, that teacher, her daughter was on the board. This old man, same thing. They trot his grandkids out and say, "Oh my God, I just want to talk about trans people," and they trot them out. And then as soon as somebody disagrees with them, it's like, "Oh my God, you're picking on this child." And so we put out a tool called Toy Soldiers earlier this year. Okay, and it's you can download it right now at courageishabit.org under strategies. It's called Toy Soldiers. And in one of the pages, I want to zoom in here on the very bottom here. Okay. Let's read this together. The above training, which is what the student is, we expose what student center and student agency, student centered, student agency, what it really means, what they're really training their kids for is to be activists, right? That's why they do it when they're in high school, especially when they're in junior and senior. The above training has led numerous school districts to place brainwashed teenagers on school boards. This strategic moves enables these minors to criticize and impose those who resist woke ideology. Anyone who tries to push back is quickly accused of bullying a defenseless child. That is what that old man did. And so the jig is up, folks. None of this is going to work anymore. We've exposed every kind of strategy that you have. It's either language contamination, they're using your vocabulary and not your dictionary, or it's emotional blackmail. Don't you have empathy as hate? Children are, black kids are dying, brown kids are dying, white privilege, your privilege. It's over, folks. It's over. It's not 2020. It's not 2021. It's not 2022. That doesn't work no more. We've exposed. You're exposed. To put it bluntly, you're fucked. Everybody knows it's emotional blackmail. It's weaponizing kindness. This is what Courage is a Habit's been talking about for a better part of almost 4 years. People are starting to finally catch on. That's why we keep pounding that. People are willing to now reject inclusion and embrace exclusion. Or here. That's what people are now. They're understanding the value of embracing exclusion. You're excluding the CMAs. You're excluding people like that guy that we strung up that deleted his account. You're excluding people like Fat Sides, the CMAs. You're mocking them, making fun of them. What Barry did, set her up, got her all excited, had a whole article written. I mean, what a fucking idiot, right? It's so easy, right? They're so easy to fool. So it's a new game, folks. Okay, it's a new dawn. It's a new day. So parents, please reject inclusion, embrace exclusion, and go after these people. Okay, stop worrying about what they call you. Okay, the jig is up. There's no more emotional blackmail. There's no more. Don't you want to be kind and inclusive? The answer is no. No, I don't. Because I want to exclude people like you from my children's lives because you're poison. You're insane. You're mental. They're bringing the illegal aliens in, the Venezuelans, the Mexicans, the Somalians. They're just destroying this nation. That's what they want. Drag queens, transgenderism, anything bad for your children, for your family. So, this is why we do, this is why we stream some of this stuff. Sometimes it's hard to sit through, but we want you guys to see this is what your school boards are going through. And this is the environment that your children are, when they go to school, it's governed by people like Becky Fless. So, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. This was funny and fun. This was good. I love to see, people walk these dishonest people into corners and embarrass them. And that was pretty funny. Well played, Barry. Good job, Michelle. That was good. Bringing up that censure. And now you've gotten Joanne O'Brien to ask for evidence. You have no evidence. It's just rumors. Okay. We got some evidence for you. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. And as, of course, I always say, if you don't stand up for your children today, they will live on their knees tomorrow. My name is Alvin Louie with Courage is a Habit, and I will see you next time.